and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
And 200, 225, 250, want to get 250 here, 275 now, 3.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson Auction Company. We can turn your property to cash. We can sell your personal property and your real estate at auction. A family business for 64 years and counting. We've sold several millions of dollars in property over the years. We're happy to consult with you on your auction plans. Let our selling experience work for you. Call McPherson Auction, 605-348-1369. Visit us on our web at mcphersonauction.com.
Here's what customers are saying about Anytime Auto Sales service and detail. John Gordon, Rapid City.
I was just looking for a pickup to pull my camper, and a lot of us this day and age look to the internet. I did some research on their website. Everything that you would want to know about a vehicle before you arrive is available on that website that I find bar none one of the best. When it came to their service department, Anytime Auto Sales provides me with an exceptional automotive experience. It was like a valet type of service. When I'd pull my pickup, pull my cars, the guys would get out, they'd greet me, they'd grab my vehicle, and I just found the experience to be exceptionally easy. I found their integrity and honesty to be above anybody else that I've experienced, and I'll come here every time.
For the best in automotive sales and service, see Anytime Auto Sales service and detail. Corner of Highway 79 in East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. This is the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are Fox Sports.
And here's what you need to know.
Two doubleheaders today in Major League Baseball after rainouts last night. The Giants are already ahead 5-0 in the top of the first at Colorado. Alex Wood, 3-0, ex-Dodger, due to be the starting pitcher in one of these two games. The Dodgers had a twin bill, or have one, at Wrigley Field, Chicago. Clayton Kershaw lost the first game to Chicago 7-1, lasted one inning, shortest start of his career. He allowed 4 runs. He could pitch now on short rest this weekend in Anaheim. Kyle Hendricks, the winning pitcher, a complete game, all 7 innings. Trevor Bauer will pitch for L.A. in Game 2 tonight. As for many of the games tonight, there are injury notes attached. St. Louis has won 5 in a row, was due to host the Mets, and Jacob deGrom, he's been scratched from his start due to side tightness. He's getting an MRI now. Milwaukee's at Philadelphia. Bryce Harper of the Phillies out with a sore wrist. Brewers outfielders Christian Yelich and Lorenzo Cain are each off. Denver Broncos tackle Juwan James out with a torn Achilles. I'm Steve DeSager.
It's time for the only live and local sports talk show in the Black Hills. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and local sports. Exclusively on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. And streaming online right now at foxsportsrapidcity.com. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories, welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Good Tuesday afternoon. Welcome in Your Sports, Your Show. We are live from our downtown studio. It's always a great day in the Black Hills. You know that. We're live on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show is back. What a Tuesday lineup. Great guests across the board, national, regional, local. And we'll get you plugged in on what you need to know. Your Sports, Your Show, launched by Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center since 1976. The orthopedic expert team is at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. We work with them closely, and they want you to know, from the local athletes that they support and take care of to the weekend warriors, they'll help you continue your active lifestyle. Stay in the game with the help of the expert team. You have a choice for orthopedic care. It's Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, online at bhosc.com. The Nate Brown Show packed on a Tuesday. Let's throw the guest lineup out as we get started today. John Clayton's going to drop by. He's got his final grades on the NFL draft, so we'll get the professor on, and then we'll give him a little bit of a breather. We need to give John a breather No, he didn't tell me that. I just said, hey, we probably need to give the professor a little breather. He's been working hard. John Clayton checks in. We'll get some reaction from the NFL Insider, Washington Post contributor, and a little bit of bad news out of the Denver Broncos land today. We're looking for good news out of the Broncos. A little bit of bad news. John Clayton on tap. Ryan Spader, Major League Baseball analyst. We're going to talk some baseball today. Some baseball with Ryan Spader live from New York. Dirk Chatlin, he's a Husker columnist for the Omaha World Herald. We'll talk Huskers and more with Dirk Chatlin, Omaha World Herald. On the local side, Mark Benetti joins us, voice of the Rapid City Rush. The Rush had a 5-game winning streak. They got clipped on Sunday, but the Rush in pretty good shape in a playoff spot right now. We'll talk to Mark Benetti on tap as the Rush are on the road tonight. Lance Pearson drops by in a live interview. Of course, a big story locally, and we'll talk to Lance about the Rapid City Central wrestling program moving forward. The Rapid City Central head wrestling coach now again is Lance Pearson, and he's live on the Nate Brown Show coming up. 720-1067 is our number, 720-1067. That's on the Boss Pizza and Chicken Sports Line Live, brought to you by Boss Pizza and Chicken, the new Boss Pizzeria and Sports Bar just on La Crosse right here in Rapid City, now with a great venue. I'll tell you, they have great TVs, a great environment. Boss Pizzeria and Sports Bar, brand new on La Crosse in Rapid City. And remember, the Boss Pizza and Chicken Sports Line Live for you, and also the Barron's-Wilson text line, 720-1067. 720-1067. That's the Barron's-Wilson text line today. On a Tuesday, am I out of breath yet? I'm not out of breath, right? If you guys knew what happened behind the scenes here. Okay, I put the show together, planned it all out, got all the guests, got everything locked and loaded today. Had to go to a track meet, middle school track meet. I don't make these very often. They're after school. We do this show, right? Middle school track meet. We're the first event of the day. And then you get there. No, you're the third event of the day. So my daughter's the third event of the day. I saw her run. Now I came in under the gun. I think I got here 2 minutes before showtime, but only for you as we get started. By the way, I want to start with this. on the Major League Baseball side, because there's some things jumping out to me. Some baseball facts today, and then we'll get to my question of the day to see really where you're at on this situation. So a couple of things are happening. I may end up having to pay for lunch for somebody, a loyal listener to this program, because the wheels are falling off here, at least in May. It's only May, but the Dodgers have lost 7 out of their last 9. My Chicago Cubs just beat down the Dodgers today, 7-1, just slapped around Clayton Kershaw in the first inning. It's a beautiful thing for me. So I said on the show, the Dodgers are going to win the NL West, no question about it. I'll still believe it. I got lunch riding on it. I think I'm in good shape. But the Dodgers have lost 7 out of their last 9. Okay? So there's a lot of talent there. They're hitting a rough patch. Here's another baseball fact for you today, and this is all going to come together. Just follow along here with me. The Minnesota Twins are 5 games out of first place, okay? Minnesota Twins, 5 games out of first place. Their percentage of winning the AL Central is at 36% today. Is at 36%. The percentage of the Minnesota Twins has, that's Fangraphs, okay? That's the baseball analytics guys. They say the Twins, even here on May 4th, 36% chance of winning the AL Central. That's not a great thing. That number's been really, really high. So the Twins, not playing very well. Then you've got the Yankees. They're off to a slow start. A little bit better as of late for the Yankees. The Yankees off to a slow start. They've got all the talent in the world. And finally, I'll throw out one more team. A team that spent a lot of money. A team that should be better. The New York Mets. Okay, I don't know if they're going to win the NL East or if they were expected to. They were expected to be right in the thick of it. Now, it's all still early. The Mets aren't hitting. Francisco Lindor, their star that they gave the biggest contract to in team history. Yes, even bigger than the Bobby Bonilla deal. They're still paying for that, by the way. Lindor's not hitting. And so here's what you've got going. The Mets just fired Chili Davis today. Chili Davis, you know Chili, right? Chili, popular guy. He was their hitting coach. So they fired Chili Davis and his assistant, by the way, Tom Slater, who we don't know as much about. The Mets are 11-12. They can't hit. They have talent, and they fire their hitting coach and his assistant. That's just the first domino of this season. I went through some teams that should be better. They aren't yet a month into the season. And I ask, how much responsibility lies on the players and how much responsibility lies on people like Chili Davis or the manager of the Mets or the manager of the Twins? That's my question of the day. We'll get to that. First, let's take a call. Thanks for getting in. You're live, and you go ahead.
Well, you're lucky I'm a cheap date, Nate.
Here he is. The Dodgers.
I like the quarter-pound hot dogs at Sam's Club.
Oh, I do too. By the way, it's May 3rd. It's May 4th, Steve. It's May 4th.
Yeah.
Dodgers have hit a rough patch. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
But go into your question.
Yes, I want you to answer that.
I'm in Facebook jail, or else I would have answered the guy on your page.
Okay, what's your answer to that? How much responsibility?
The players. Let me tell you something. Somebody said, well, they need a pep talk. Okay, you're making $30 million, $10 million, $5 million. I got to pep talk you to play baseball like you're really going to listen to me anyway. How many pep talks do you think Michael Jordan got when he was winning 6 NBA titles?
Not very many. Good point.
Okay, come on, people. You're paid millions of dollars. Kirk Cousins paid millions of dollars. If you can't get me at least to 1 game, 2 games out of the Super Bowl, all right, you're not worth that $30 million. And I use him as a prime example. Why are we paying these athletes this kind of money? A, they're not going to listen to that manager. The only thing a manager does is pull a pitcher too early. That's his only job.
Well, that's what it's turned into. Lineup. I mean, you're on the right track there, Steve. I will tell you. That's what it's turned into. The manager, to me, I mean, I just went through these teams. Twins, Dodgers, Mets, Yankees. Is it the manager's fault?
Not in baseball.
I don't believe it is.
Chili Davis, come on. You're going to blame everything on Chili Davis because little Billy stayed up till 4 a.m. with 3 hookers and a dime bag of Coke.
Hang on a second. All right, buddy. I think you're on the right path, except for that last part. Okay. Thanks, man.
Oh, come on.
I appreciate
Mickey Mantle. No, let's go back to Mickey Mantle. Them guys would drink till 5 a.m., go out and play baseball the next day.
Yeah.
Google Mickey Mantle's greatest home run according to Mickey Mantle. I'll give you a quick rundown, then I'm done.
All right.
Mickey Mantle was told he's not playing on Sunday. Mickey's like, sweet. Drink till 6 a.m. All right. Then he goes to the ballpark. He's laying in the dugout till the 9th inning. Manager comes over. He goes, Mick, you got a pinch hit. Mick goes, he walks up to the plate. And he goes, I can't see nothing. My eyes are fogged. And he goes, the first pitch I just swing. And it's a home run. Everybody's cheering. Mickey goes, people don't realize how hard it was to hit that one home run.
Yeah. The good old days.
Play the game.
The good old
days.
Play the game. All right, Steve.
Yep.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate it. The good old days. And by the way, programming note, that's not how you hit your peak of athletic performance. Okay? I just want a little disclaimer there. But I jokingly say the good old days. I do ask this question of the day on the baseball side early. Here. Month into the season, some of these teams are underperforming. So I just ask, in baseball, you baseball fans, tell me this. When a Major League Baseball team with talent is losing, like the Twins, the Dodgers lately. Dodgers, I think they'll be fine. Pitching's a little bit of concern. They got some injuries, but Dodgers have lost 7 out of their last 9 after a blazing start. When a team is losing, that has talent now. These are teams that I've been told on paper they're paying for all this talent. I mean, the Twins, I'm told, have the best roster in the AL Central, right? No question. Okay? Mets should be better than 11-12. I mean, my Cubs are 11-12. Okay, the Cubs, they shipped everybody out. They're not paying anybody. So the Mets are paying Lindor some big contracts now. They're 11-12. How much blame do you put on the manager? That's my question in the world of baseball today. And I just run through some teams here today that I've been watching. Yankees, Mets, Twins, Dodgers. How much blame do you put on the manager? I'd really like to know. 720-1067 is our number as we get started on a Tuesday. Answers coming in. Here's one. Blame the manager. It is his job to get the team prepared for the game. Give that last pep talk. That's what we were just referencing. Give that last pep talk to fire them up. If you don't have a good leader, you will lose all the time. And here's my answer to the question of the day. Let's see what the poll, what the audience is polling here early on. Let's check in. Question of the day. How much blame do you put on the manager in Major League Baseball when a team with talent is losing? How much blame do you put on the manager? 36% of you say the manager gets a lot of the blame. That seems like a high number to me. When I threw out that question of the day, I thought most people would be with me, which I say 95% of the blame is on the players. Answer this question. What can the manager do? That last listener said on our post said, well, he's got to be a leader. He's got to get him ready to play. It's a 162-game schedule. I think the manager is valued the least that it's ever been. Front office, analytics. So the front office signs players. Analytics breaks down the game and who you should pull out and who you should put in, the lineups. What does the manager do? And 36% of you are going to blame the manager for teams that have talent for losing here in the first month. Thanks for calling. You're live and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate, Jim, thanks for taking my call.
Jim, what's up, man? Where you sit on this?
I believe it's the players.
I'm with you. You with me on this? Football
100%.
coaches a little bit different. Baseball managers, what can they do? What can the manager do to turn around the Dodgers right now? In my opinion, not much.
No, not much. The players just need to perform up to their level.
I'm going to say it's not totally devalued, but it seems like it is, Jim. I'm surprised. Over a third of the people say, no, you got to blame the manager. I don't know how you blame the manager. Good to hear from you, buddy. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for calling in. I really don't. I don't say it's not totally blameless, but I say 95%. That's just my number that I pulled out. I mean, I say, are we going to blame Baldelli for the Twins right now? Are we really going to go down that road? You're going to blame Aaron Boone for the Yankees right now? I don't think you are, but so let's see. 64% of the people say players get most of the blame. So most of you are with me. Let's take another one. Thanks for getting in. You're live, and you go ahead.
Yeah, my answer there is, what else are you going to do if you don't go to the manager? Because what we've done with our sports now, when Steve's talking about back in the day when Mickey Mantle hit his home run in the worst hungover condition he could be in, Mickey Mantle, and there was maybe one or two other players on each team that would be considered a star or a superstar, and the other 5 or 6 guys were really good baseball players that made maybe 4, 5, 8 times what somebody in a factory makes.
Are you still there? Did I lose you? I lost you. Okay. I lost you. That's okay. You can chime back in when you can get back. So he's saying, what else are you going to do outside of changing leadership? He does have, there's some validity to his statement, okay, because that's what we do. All we do is we look, okay, what can we do in a baseball team? Well, you can make a trade here or there. You can pull up some guys. You can demote some guys. That's really it, okay? That's really all. And so then you say, well, we need a change in the manager. We need a change in the manager. I just say I don't think that fixes the problem. I don't think it fixes the problem at all. Let's see. Listener text coming in. How about you fire a few of the players and the others will turn around? See, and I believe that. I believe that. We give out these massive contracts. What Steve was saying, massive contracts, to me, those are given to certain guys, and they can either mail it in or some of them perform, a.k.a. Bryce Harper still, a.k.a. Mike Trout still. And then there's been massive contracts where guys mail it in, and then you're stuck. You are stuck. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
I guess I dropped the call.
No worries.
But are you? I mean, the way that these guys, the type of money they're making as much or 2 or 3 times what the manager's making. Are you going to? You're going to embarrass. Is that the point? You're going to try to embarrass them by dropping them down into the minor leagues because they're not performing.
What can you do? I think the
guy you're going to pull up. The guy you're going to pull up from the minor leagues is not as good a player, or he would have been there in the first place.
Most of the time, you're right. The time, you're right. You can find a diamond here or now. You can find a diamond in the rough here or now.
And, part of the mail-in, too, works out to be, you get 162 games. I think I'd have a really hard time being 80 games into a season and being 18, 22 games back. Part of it is too long of a season.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
Where they're at right now, though, I think the Twins are really happy the season's 162 right now because they've got a chance to maybe get back by 60-game mark. They might be 35 and 25. But
so are you okay with blaming the manager, though? I just can't. I really can't.
I get. It's the only way that it's really their first tool in the toolbox is to go at. If the hitting's the problem, you go to the hitting coach. If the pitching's the problem, you go to the pitching coach, and maybe you dump them. And it gets the message across that you guys aren't performing. We can't bench all 9 of you. We can't, drop 6 of you down to the minor leagues. That's not going to get us anywhere.
I'm about ready to bench the entire lineup.
One more real
Mets.
quick, since Steve was the last caller. One more real quick actual piece of sports information.
Okay.
The Sioux City Musketeers defeated the Omaha Lancers this weekend in the USHL playoffs to move on to the semifinals.
That's the biggest update I've heard right there.
All right.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
That's the biggest update I've heard. It was off my radar. He brought it back on the radar. The Nate Brown Show on this Tuesday. John Clayton is up next. Okay, NFL insider, the professor. We'll check in with him. I just find it interesting. The New York Mets today get rid of hitting coach Chili Davis, who the reports out there in New York is very popular with the players. Like the guys just love Chili Davis. And his assistant, Tom Slater, the assistant hitting coach. So Chili Davis takes the hit for Francisco Lindor, biggest contract in team history, and Lindor's hitting 171? I don't buy it. I know what he's saying. Well, the first tool is hitting coach, and then maybe it goes to the manager. I think Major League Baseball is a situation where we do have these contracts that we give Lindor, and then he struggles like this, and then we want to find, well, it's not the front office's fault. It's not the player's fault. Oh, he must say the mechanics are off. Chili Davis must have really ruined Francisco Lindor with this brand new team with the Mets. I don't buy it. And eventually, guess what? Lindor will come out of it. It's a long season. And then Chili Davis is going to be watching from wherever he is. We sit here and we say, oh, this is wrong and that manager's bad. I don't believe Rocco Baldelli could make the Twins better in the AL Central than they are. The players have to. The Yankees players have to. The Mets players have to. The Dodgers. All of a sudden, the Dodgers don't have a bad manager all of a sudden with Dave Roberts. Okay? And he was World Series manager. Now they've lost 7 out of their last 9. Oh, man. I don't know. We might have a problem with the pitching coach. Oh, our pitching's supposed to be better. The pitching coach. That's who it is. Some of this stuff here is ridiculous. Francisco Lindor's batting 171. The star for the Mets, and the hitting coach and the assistant hitting coach on vacation. They took him out today. Unreal. Coming right back with John Clayton, NFL insider. The professor checks in on the Nate Brown Show next.
You're listening to the Nate Brown Show. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Nate Brown Show and like us on Facebook by searching Fox Sports Rapid City.
We have all learned lately that our homes are our sanctuaries. And at Renewal by Andersen, many people invest in our windows to keep out the bitter cold. But they're often thrilled when it's blazing hot outside, and their Renewal by Andersen windows are keeping their homes so cool, with much lower utility bills. Renewal by Andersen windows make life at home so much more comfortable, whether it's 10 degrees below zero or 100. We can't control outside, but we sure can inside. Invest in your home now with Renewal by Andersen. You'll be glad you did.
For all of your screen printing, embroidery, team gear, banners, and much more, the one place that can do it all and get it done on time is Park Bench Apparel and A&J Screening in Blackhawk. Park Bench Apparel also has one-of-a-kind local men's, women's, and youth apparel with hats, tumblers, stickers, and more. If you need jerseys, shirts, business gear, or one-of-a-kind gifts, visit parkbenchapparel.com. Park Bench Apparel voted #1 in 2020 for screen printing, embroidery, and custom signs in the Black Hills. That's parkbenchapparel.com.
We're all going somewhere. Going higher, faster, farther. Going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. Great to be in the Black Hills. Getting the herd weekdays 10 to 1 on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show. Just getting started on a Tuesday. Your sports, your show. Live phone calls, the text. We'll get to all that. The question of the day, answers continue to come in. Question of the day, if you didn't catch it. When a Major League Baseball team with talent is losing, a.k.a. the Twins, the Yankees, the Mets, I'll throw the Dodgers in there now. They've lost 7 out of their last 9 after a pretty good start for a really stacked team. When a talented team's losing in baseball, how much blame do you put on the manager? How much blame? Manager gets a lot of it. Players should get most of it. I'm in the 100% players should get most of it. 100, I'd say 95%. Sorry, okay, 5% manager, 95% players. Here's John Clayton, NFL insider, WashingtonPost.com. He had his reaction to the draft, just came out yesterday, and he's on Twitter at John Clayton NFL, contributor for 104.3 The Fan in Denver as well. John, back on the Nate Brown Show. John, how are you?
Good, but right now, you're not going to be in good shape. Did you hear what just happened?
I think I did. Are you talking Juwan James? Is that what you're talking?
Juwan James, yeah. Yep, blew out his Achilles tendon, and he's done for the year. And my guess is now there's a big hole at right tackle that they didn't fill with, with getting Slater in the draft. They passed on him, Rashawn Slater, and they did take a good player in Patrick Surtain, but now they're down a right tackle with a big hole. So I don't know if they're going to go try to get Charles Leno. They can't get Alejandro Villanueva because he ended up signing with Baltimore. But this is a big blow for the Broncos, who had faith that everything was going to be okay with Juwan James.
Well, he opted out last year, and, yeah, he was going to come back this year, and that's a big contract, John. Do we know what the story is? Was it a workout? Blew out his Achilles. Do we know what the story is?
All we know, I think it was off facility. And if that's going to be the case, then he very well will get cut, and they'll get the money back. Which, of course, if they're okay cap-wise, it's not a big issue. But no, this is a big blow. But we don't know the story because it's just so fresh. It literally just popped up here in the last hour.
John Clayton, NFL insider, the professor here on the Nate Brown Show. Broncos tackle Juwan James. Yeah, just blew out the Achilles. We just heard that, like I said, about the last half an hour. I want to stay with the Broncos for a minute. They got a lot of defense now, and Surtain was the pick at number 9. In your mock draft, you had Justin Fields going there. Did the Aaron Rodgers thing, do you believe that plays into George Paton's thinking of going Surtain?
I think so, to a small degree, yeah, because I know it's still going to be a reach to be able to get Rodgers, and, of course, if you get Rodgers, you're not going to get him probably until October. because it's going to resemble what happened with Carson Palmer years ago in 2011 when he basically did the same thing as Aaron's threatening to do, is just say, hey, I'm done here. I'm not going to come back. And they waited him out. The only difference was two things. Number one, that Rodgers already has $6.8 million in his pocket from a roster bonus that the Broncos paid in March. And in the case of Carson Palmer, he waited, and they, out of worry, they drafted Andy Dalton in 2011. So they had a quarterback, and that even infuriated Carson more. But then Carson, the one thing that's similar is his agent is Aaron Rodgers' agent. Carson had David Dunn. Rodgers has David Dunn. So you'd have to figure if they're making a threat, which they are, that there's a good chance they're going to follow through with it, particularly with the money he's made. In fact, if you go back to when Carson Palmer said, I'm never going to put my foot back in Mike Brown Stadium or Paul Brown Stadium again, he says, I've got $80 million. I can do whatever I want.
Do you think there's legs to the Broncos, this reporting, the Broncos going to be aggressive in trying to get Rodgers?
I think so, yeah, because, again, when you think about it, there's only two teams now looking for quarterbacks because everything else has been taken care of. You've got Washington, who'd like to have somebody to come in to at least somewhat challenge Fitzgerald, and that's okay. So that's one. But also, you've got it's all set up because the cap room is there if they want to do something. And, of course, when you go back to the Palmer thing, that was a number one the next year and a number two that could go to a number one if the Raiders went to the playoffs and went to the Super Bowl, which they didn't. So it turned out to be a number one and a number two. I think for something very similar as far as the charge, that very well could. But nothing can happen now because it has to be after June 1st. And my guess is you have to wait out Aaron into training camp, maybe the start of the regular season, to see if he changes his mind. I don't think he's going to change his mind. So I could see something coming right now, right in the middle of the season.
Interesting. John Clayton, WashingtonPost.com. His reaction to the draft is there. Also on Twitter at John Clayton NFL. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. A couple more. One more on Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers sitting here. The Packers have to decide, John, can we get some value? Because if he ends up, retiring, going to jeopardy, so to speak, they're not going to get any value. So the Packers are going to have to make a tough call, too, are they not?
No question. And again, that's like you can't feel sorry for them because they're the ones that put themselves in this position. They've starved Aaron Rodgers the last 2 years for skilled players. You go back last year, they didn't do anything to help him out at the wide receiver position. Tunyon came on and did well as a tight end, but they just didn't have enough to get over the top. They got to the championship game. They had their second straight 13-win season. Aaron Rodgers was the MVP, but so much of that was Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Aaron Jones, to a certain degree, helping out there. But then what you look at is that he hasn't trusted them at all. And you go back in the last 10 drafts, the Green Bay Packers have taken 9 defensive players as a first pick. Now, one time Kevin King ends up going in the second round on a trade down. And the only offensive player they've drafted first was Jordan Love, who comes in to take Aaron Rodgers' job. So you can see there's got to be a mistrust there. And, he's not restructuring his contract. He says he's not going to be there, and I do believe him.
John Clayton on the Aaron Rodgers situation, so we'll see if the Broncos make an aggressive push. Back to the draft here. Justin Fields. Broncos didn't take him. They must have not loved him. I wanted that to be the pick. They didn't do it. Do you think Fields and do you think Bears made a great call there?
Absolutely. And I think the Giants made a horrible call in the way that they handled the trade. It was a great call because, it cost a first-round pick next year and a couple other draft choices, but now they get a quarterback that they can try to develop, and he's a very talented quarterback. You can argue he's the second or third best quarterback in this draft, and so I think it was a great move. The reason I didn't like it from the Giants' standpoint, if you believe Scott Fitterer, the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, saying he only had 16 first-round grades this year, what you look at is like, okay, so how bad is that? And so you trade down to 20. And again, if you look at it in the big picture, you're getting a second-round pick. And of course, yesterday was, the day for fifth-year options. And you can see, and this has been the same story now for about 5-6 years. Once you get past 20, it's hard to be able to get a player that's going to get a fifth-year option or go to the Pro Bowl. And so because of that, you have, like this year, there was from 21 to 32, there was four players that got 50-year options. And, of course, there was only one player that went to the Pro Bowl, and that's Lamar Jackson. And so, and of course, that was a trade up at the bottom of the first round to 32. So it's like, if you trade down to 20, the grade that you may get the guy at 20 is not going to be too much different from what you get at 34, 35. And now teams are even recognizing it because just this year, this was the first time I can ever remember nobody being able to trade out of the first round and nobody trading up from round 2 to round 1. Nobody did it because I think they realized, hey, we can get something close if we stay here and not trade up.
One more. I'll let him run after this. John Clayton on tonight. Okay, you say Rodgers may join the Broncos in October. If you had to bet money on it, John, in Las Vegas, I wonder if the Broncos can get this done before the start of the season, or the Packers are just going to be that stubborn.
I think the Packers are going to be that stubborn because it's such a big thing. Because realize if you trade him, okay, it's a $38 million cap hit if you do it now, and you have to rebuild your team totally. If that, even the $19 million cap hit of dead money is going to hurt. And so then you don't also have a quarterback. Because think about this. It's like, what do they have at quarterback other than Jordan Love? And we don't know how good he really is going to be. So I think they're in a tough spot right now. But I think, because of the circumstance, you've got to wait it out and see where it's going to be. And that's why I think it's going to be more October than it even would be at the end of summer. Because, again, you go back, I think, what was it, like October the 12th was when Carson Palmer ended up, 12th or 21st that year in 2011 when he got traded. Because, again, you got to see if he's going to follow through on it. And Aaron. I mean, Aaron is about as stubborn as you can get. I mean, he even holds out from his relatives, and so even stays away from them. So it's like you can see. I think he's going to stay away, but I do think he's not going to play for them. I think he is going to get traded.
John Clayton, 104.3 The Fan in Denver. You can read his stuff there, and WashingtonPost.com. NFL Insider, the professor, on today. John, enjoy your day. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks.
Appreciate it. John Clayton on the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City. Find him on Twitter at John Clayton NFL. John Clayton checking in. And the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. Really thinking the Broncos are in as good a position as anybody. Okay, so this just isn't the old Nate Brown Show Kool-Aid session. This isn't the Nate Brown Show Kool-Aid session. This is thinking it through. Can the Broncos make a play for Aaron Rodgers? Is it legitimate? That's the reporting. And Rich Eisen also coming on saying Aaron Rodgers would like to go to Denver. He'd be fine with Denver. So this is all out there now. It's drip, 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 drip. Will the Packers step up there and say, all right, what are we going to get for Aaron? He's toast. He's toast. And John makes an interesting point with his family. He has some estranged relationships, right, in his own family. You wonder just the personality there from Aaron Rodgers. A little edgy. So if he gets ticked off, you wonder if he stays ticked off. Do we think Aaron's coming back to the Packers now when it's all said and done? Sure doesn't look like that. So now the Packers have to make the call. What value can we get? That's what people are forgetting. It's like, well, the Packers are going to hang on to him. They're just going to force him to retire, end of story. And you get nothing. You get nothing. If you're the Packers, you got to get something. You're going to take a cap hit there after June 1st. You've got to get something. And the Broncos, I'm making a really, really aggressive play. And so I just say, maybe that's why they didn't go rookie quarterback that night. Mark Schlereth was reporting they might be looking at Aaron Rodgers that night. That was Thursday night, right? It was less than a week ago. They might have been looking at Aaron Rodgers that night. Maybe that's part of the situation is, hey, we have Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater if things fall off the rails. Well, we have the two guys here. We're fine. We really want this guy, and we're not going to go Justin Fields because we might be able to get Aaron Rodgers for a few years. What a world. What a world as a Broncos fan to be watching this over the next month or two. John Clayton predicting, though, it might not get handled in the summer. It might get handled as the season gets underway. And the Packers are going to go that far and get nothing? You're going to get nothing? Let's come back with a local sports story that's been on everybody's minds. It's got a lot of people talking about it. What's the story for this program moving forward? Rapid City Central Wrestling, their head coach now is Lance Pearson, and he joins us live next.
You're listening to the only live and local sports talk show in the Black Hills, The Nate Brown Show, on FoxSportsRapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
Doctor, are you going to start the ventricular bypass?
Wow, I've never seen the inside of a person's chest cavity before.
Doctor?
Well, my specialty is proctology, not hearts, but I'm game if you are.
Would you want a proctologist operating on your heart? Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota thinks not. You'd want a specialist or an expert.
Scalpel.
Scalpel.
Does someone have a diagram? We have nothing that looks like this on the other end.
That's why when you need replacement windows, you need Renewal by Anderson, because they only do windows. They're experts, no subcontractors.
Nurse, if we're operating on the left ventricle, is that my left or his left?
His left.
His left, my right?
No, you're right.
Let's start from the bottom up, please.
Renewal by Anderson's hassle-free, energy-efficient, low-maintenance windows with a professional, perfect fit. They won't leave you hanging.
Doctor, where are you going?
In proctology speak, I'm pooped. Just leave him as he is, and I'll try again tomorrow.
For a perfect fit, call 605-341-7831. That's 605-341-7831. Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker in Rapid City. If you considered selling your current home, let me take you to that next step with confidence. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I have been in the business of attracting buyers for 15 years. Let's make it happen. Contact me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in. Your Sports, Your Show on a Tuesday. The Nate Brown Show live on Fox Sports Rapid City. How you can listen, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Thanks for checking in there on your drive home, whatever you're up to this Tuesday. Also on Twitter, at Nate Brown Show. You can watch the show live right there on your phone. Bring us up on Twitter. Follow us at Nate Brown Show. And then on YouTube, we've got the channel there. Just search The Nate Brown Show. There's somebody else out there that, what do they have? Nate Brown Show? Don't do that one. That's an imposter. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. You can watch us live in studio camera here. Dirk Chatlin's coming up. He's the Husker columnist for the Omaha World Herald. He has a stat on the Huskers that he wrote a big piece on today, and I'm going to get into that. Dirk Chatlin on the way from Omaha. Ryan Spader, Major League Baseball analyst, national author on Major League Baseball. Ryan Spader on the way. We'll talk some baseball. We got to get into some topics today. Here he is, Rapid City Central. The head wrestling coach is Lance Pearson. We've had him on a lot, and he's back on the Nate Brown Show. Coach, it's good to have you. I ask you, how are you?
You know, Nate, just really thankful for the opportunity to continue doing what I love and working with kids, not only in the classroom, but being able to teach them and mentor them and help them in the wrestling room as well. I'll be honest, just a really thankful opportunity for me.
A lot of details we're not going to go into, Coach, but what are you feeling today about this program moving forward?
You know, it's pretty much the same as when we walked out of the arena, you know, of the state tournament this year. We graduate a couple of probably our most decorated wrestlers that we've had in our program, in Cale Larson and TJ Morrison, and those are some amazing shoes that I don't know if you can ever look at a kid and say, okay, you got to be the next so-and-so coming into the program. And so really we've got a lot of youth, a lot of kids that they got a lot of mat time this year on the varsity level, and I think it really helped open their eyes as to what exactly they got to put in this off season to try and get to the level that they want to be at. So overall, I mean, we're excited. The kids are excited to get back to work and really just start that whole process. You know, wrestling's just like a lot of these other sports. Obviously, we got kids doing track and doing the other sports outside of our season. But at the same time, you always try and get them a day or 2 days a week just to get back on the mat to kind of keep that rust from building up.
Lance Pearson remains the Rapid City Central head wrestling coach after things were resolved last night before the executive session of the Rapid City School Board meeting. So I'll ask you, Coach, is everybody on the same page moving forward in this program?
You know, I hope so. I know our support and everybody that's been part of the Cobbler Wrestling program is looking to continue to do that, you know, and there's still hurdles that we've got to overcome and things that we need to do and meetings that need to be had and conversations that need to be had, you know, by all of us involved. And but I'd like to think that we're headed in that direction to where we can come out of this better than maybe when we were going into it. And really that's a testament to all the wrestlers and the families that have ever come through our program, you know, the past, the present, and the future little guys that are part of our youth program. So I have no qualms that even if things were to be different and somebody else leading this charge, I know the kids and I know the families that are part of it, and they'd have kept it going and kept it going in the right direction, the right way. So, yeah, we're excited and really looking forward to it, honestly.
Well, you're going to keep it going in the right direction, I would think. Lance Pearson just finished up his 19th year as head coach for the Rapid City Central Wrestling program. He was there a few years before that as an assistant. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. There was a lot of folks talking about it, and I mean, everybody's saying this, saying that, okay? And so this got to be something where you're saying, okay, everybody maybe doesn't know all of the facts here, and maybe that'll play out. But the deal is you're the head coach, and I got to say two things, Coach. What did you think of everybody showing the support they did to you?
Honestly, extremely overwhelming. I still... you know, that's I don't know, when we go into education and you go into coaching, that's the piece that nobody talks about, are those relationships and the what you mean to people and believe it or not, what they mean to me. You know, those kids, as much as they say, you help me become whatever, they help me become who I am and taught me different things about being compassionate and showing, you know, just some compassion to their situations. And so for me, it's just very humbling. I'll say that it was just very humbling and overwhelming, the support that was shown.
I'll tell you, former wrestlers, current wrestlers, families all came there. The side of the board meeting last night where Lance Pearson remains the Rapid City Central head wrestling coach. And you said, I saw you said, I just want to get back to in the wrestling room. You just want to get back coaching kids. So I'm going to ask you, what did you learn through this process last few months?
You know, the biggest thing for me, and people who know me, and you especially for having me on your show, sometimes I can have a little bit of gift of gab or a long tongue, you know, and you need to shut me off sometime. But I know communication has got to be a big thing, and that's for everybody, all involved. You know, the worst thing that happens is when people get partial things or hear partial, and then they kind of run with it and go a whole different direction. And so communication's the biggest thing for me, and whether that's me communicating with my guys and my families, communicating upward, you know, everybody involved, I think everybody's going to realize that the communication piece is probably that's going to help everybody and everybody in the program and everybody in the community for sure.
Coach, I'll tell you, you've been a great coach at Central, 19 years as head coach. You remained the head coach for the Cobblers. I know quite a few people, of course, your supporters last night, very, very happy about that. And now as you get back to the wrestling room, you talked about the program moving forward. I'll leave you with this. When it comes to being the head coach at Rapid City Central, you're sitting here saying, hey, you weren't ready to exit. You were ready to continue. So I'm going to say, what's it look like? There's some little guys, right? You're down working with the little guys moving all the way up. Is that how you build this program for the future?
You know, Nate, I've been saying it ever since anybody would talk to us, you know, and I know Travis King over on the west side will echo this 10 times over, but I think that's one of the biggest reasons that our two programs, at least, and you even see it in Sturgis, but our involvement, not only of us head coaches, but of our coaching staff, all the way down to those kids, by the time they get to our high school program, they've already been with us, and they know our coaching style, and they know who we are, and they know what our goals are, from all those times working with them down in the kids program. And you're right, without our youth program, we don't have a high school program. I'll be honest with you. And so if we don't do our job of getting down there and coaching and helping those kids, then it really makes it difficult when you're trying to get them to trust you and believe what you're telling them it takes to get to that next level once they do hit the high school.
Well, a lot of people believe in you, Coach. A lot of people appreciate your work. Lance Pearson, Rapid City Central head wrestling coach. Last one, was there a lesson of grace here learned by maybe many people involved?
I hope so, and we all need to continue to look to do that. The world today, just everything seems so one way or another, and it's everything. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're talking about. It seems that people are a little less open to hear anybody's side if it's not exactly the way they see it, and I find that word grace to be something that is going to help me. It's helped me in my career. It's helped me be able to help some of these kids, when it would have been easy just to kind of throw your hands up and say, I can't help this kid anymore, or I can't do any more for this kid. That word grace does apply to how I try and live my life and how I try and treat my kids and my program and everybody I associate with. So I think it'd be great if we could find it throughout our whole world right now. We need a little more of it.
Yeah, I believe that. I really do. I believe that, no question about it. Lance Pearson, Rapid City Central head wrestling coach, and we'll stay in touch with you, Coach. I wish you the best. I appreciate you coming on, as always.
Thank you, Nate. Again, thanks for giving us the time to talk about the program, and go Cobblers.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Lance Pearson's the head wrestling coach for the Cobblers. Just finished up year number 19 as head coach, and the situation is there's a lot of things that are out there, and that's why I never discuss and speculate when it comes to situations like this. It just doesn't work out. If you don't have all the facts, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that. The facts are Lance Pearson remains the Rapid City Central head wrestling coach. There was a lot of folks that came to the meeting last night to show the support, and the complaint was withdrawn. So the situation moving forward for the Cobblers, and Lance Pearson is the head wrestling coach for Rapid City Central. Appreciate him coming on. Always a great guy to talk to as he runs his program. We'll stay in touch with him as things continue to develop there with the program. We come right back with Mark Benetti, the voice of the Rapid City Rush. The Rush, they won 5 straight. Okay, now they got clipped on Sunday, but are they in a playoff spot? Not very many games left for the Rush. Mark Benetti on the way.
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
We have all learned lately that our homes are our sanctuaries. And at Renewal by Andersen, many people invest in our windows to keep out the bitter cold. But they're often thrilled when it's blazing hot outside, and their Renewal by Andersen windows are keeping their homes so cool with much lower utility bills. Renewal by Andersen windows make life at home so much more comfortable, whether it's 10 degrees below zero or 100. We can't control outside, but we sure can inside. Invest in your home now with Renewal by Andersen. You'll be glad you did.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Hello everyone, this is Todd Singh with Singh Contracting. I'm here to remind you it's time to get that roof done. So what are you waiting for? Give us a call today. We'll give you our own estimate, separate from insurance, so you can make sure they're taking care of you. Call today, 343-ROOF. That's 343-7663. Or visit us at singhcontracting.com. Don't delay, call today. Bye!
True taco lovers can't say Tuesday without thinking taco, especially at the home of Taco Tuesday, Taco John's. So this taco, head to Tuesday John's for Taco Tuesday, or maybe it's Tuesday Taco. Either way, there's deals on delicious beef Tuesdays or tacos happening all day. Tuesdays.
Swing by Taco John's for 99-cent tacos all day Taco Tuesday, or order delivery from participating locations with the Taco John's app. Nate Brown here for Summit Automotive Group. If you dread the stress of shopping for a vehicle, you're going to love the way Summit makes it easy for you. At Summit Automotive, Stacy and Matt and their staff understand buying a vehicle is a big investment, so they listen to your needs first to help you find the vehicle and financing just right for you. And Summit Automotive offers a no-deductible warranty as well. Experience the friendly, stress-free shopping for yourself at Summit Automotive Group, Highway 44, just east of Campbell Street in Rapid City. Online at SummitAutomotiveGRP.com.
Farmers and ranchers with up to 24% lower shop rates than most local dealers. Adams ISC in Rapid City is your single go-to source for ag equipment inspection, service, and repair, including air conditioning. With over 20 years experience, Adams ISC Ag Tech Gary Christensen will have your ag equipment repaired and serviced to your satisfaction, either in our shop or at your location with our fully equipped field service truck on Deadwood Avenue in Rapid City or at 605-343-9393. Contact Adams ISC.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in. Your Sports, Your Show, the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here. A lot to cover tonight. A lot to cover, including some hockey. It's a Tuesday. It's a Rush review. Let's get after it. Playoffs are almost here. You believe that? Playoffs are almost here. Are the Rush in good shape? They are. They're in the playoff bracket, but Utah is right there. It just so happens the Rush have some pretty big games this week, starting tonight. Mark Benetti's the voice of the Rapid City Rush on the call, and he's here on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Mark, it's good to have you. How are you?
Doing great, Nate. Getting ready for a very exciting, all-important week of hockey, and happy to be talking about it with you tonight.
Let me ask you about the recent stretch. 5-game winning streak. It got clipped Sunday, okay? That's is what it is, but 5-game win streak. Do you think the Rush are playing their best right now? You've been there every game. You've been watching the team. Are they playing their best?
Absolutely. It's from top down, everything's working. They're getting goaltending at the right time. Dave Tendek, who's going to start tonight for the Rush against Utah, he had one heck of a tear coming back from the NHL taxi squad with Arizona, won a relief appearance and then 3 consecutive starts, so he's red hot. The power play in all 5 wins had a power play goal at the minimum. That was red hot. The kill was doing great. Defense was solid. We were getting timely goals. And, yeah, it's a perfect storm, Nate, but that's what happens when you commit to playing the game the right way. I know I say that almost every time I'm on the show with you here, but this team, since about the middle of February, right around that ballpark, they've been committing to playing hockey the right way, and it's paying off because they've won 17 games over the last 2 months. So good things coming for this team, and here's hoping they keep that stretch going, starting 4 and 5 nights against Utah tonight.
Utah's the team that's right on the cusp of this. This feels like the playoff berth up for grabs here this week. I don't want to overdo it, but there's not that many games left, Mark.
No, there's 16, including tonight. 16 left for the Rush. Utah's got a game in hand, so they have 17 left. But if you look at the standings, Nate, again, the points percentage really throws it out of whack. It's not just points and clear-cut math. It's based on percentage, just for a refresher for everybody. So the Rush in the last playoff spot with a win percentage of .554. Utah is the first team outside of the bracket looking in. They're at .518. They've lost 3 in a row, 4 out of their last 5, and the Rush have won 9 out of their last 12. They are red, scorching hot right now. And, Nate, I obviously not to get too into the weeds on it, but let's assume just for the sake of the argument that the Rush take care of business this week and they go in there and they get the job done. Utah's not necessarily out of it, but my goodness, are they crippled from their chances to try and get back into this thing. It's going to be quite the stretch for them with about a dozen games left at that point. So the Rush could really put the hurt on Utah. Utah's looking like a different team tonight. They've got 2 guys suspended and their head coach suspended for the start of the series because of some shenanigans that they had against Tulsa on Saturday night. So this is greatest time as any to try and set the tone for what this week's going to be.
How would you describe the Utah Rapid City Rush relationship? How would you describe this matchup?
There's probably some choice words based on both teams that are not safe for air when it comes to that. But, I got to say, Nate, it is great hockey. It really is. It's hard. It's tough. Both of these teams can't stand each other because of the division rivalry. It's always an exciting game. I will say, despite some of the hardship the Rush had over the last couple of years, Coach Tatro and this team, they have an overwhelming successful record. I think it's now 27-17-3 over the last 4 years since Coach Tatro was named the head coach of the team. So, it's as great a rivalry as there is. The Rush consistently play well in that building against this team, and just hoping that trend continues tonight, because if it does, then the Rush inch ever so closer to their first playoff berth in 6 years.
Mark Benetti, voice of the Rapid City Rush. The Rush are on the road at Utah starting tonight, and the Rush hold that last playoff spot for now. Utah right outside. Critical week for the Rush against Utah. I'll ask you about the Quenneville brothers. How fun has that been?
It has been so much fun, Nate. They're absolute riots, the both of them. Getting to work with Peter the last year and a half, now 2 years, has been great. His brother David, just like him, talks a little bit more than Peter does, and he's got a great sense of humor too. But my goodness, are they both on the same wavelength when it comes to hockey? So one of my off-ice officials was actually joking the other night with all the success that the both of them have had on the power play. Imagine how many times they've run those plays in the outdoor rink in the backyard as kids growing up. There's a reason where that wavelength comes in, but they both have such a great mind for the game, and that's why Peter's having the success that he is. He's on a 6-game point streak right now. He's averaging an assist per game in that stretch, 3 goals and 9 points there. David sat out on Sunday, but He's had a point in every game but one he's played since his assignment from the New Jersey Devils. 3 assists for him. All of them have come on the man advantage. They add such an element. And when Peter gets physically involved up front on the forecheck, good things seem to happen for him. When Dave keeps the game in front of him as a defender, things seem to develop for him too, and especially the power play. Both of them just absolutely lethal, no doubt about it.
Quenneville brothers have been good. David, a late addition here. Peter Quenneville, third in the ECHL in scoring right now. The Rush are at Utah. Voice of the Rush is Mark Benetti. Playoff hockey's getting close. Rush trying to hang on to the last spot this week with some great wins. Could come away with a good situation. Mark, good stuff. Enjoy it, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Nate. Take care, bud.
Mark Benetti, Voice of the Rush, on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Talking Rush hockey. Well, they're in good shape. Haven't been to the playoffs for 6 years. In good shape. This week, you don't want to overplay it, but for Rapid City Rush fans, as you follow this team, they've climbed back in. Now they've won 9 out of their last 12. And this week against Utah, the team that's right next to you in the playoff hunt, this is the key one. There will be 12 games after this left for the Rush. 12 games after it, so you're not solid, but getting some distance in the playoff seeding with wins head-to-head against Utah, that's a key week for the Rush as we keep an eye on the Rush. On the road starting tonight. They'll play tonight and tomorrow in Utah. We'll check back in with the Rush as they have a big week on hand at Utah. We come right back into the Drive at 5 on the Nate Brown Show. I got to get into this scenario. The question of the day we'll revisit. Okay, question of the day. Hang on, a hockey text. Man, I'll tell you. A hockey text into the program. Listener text coming in. With the Rush being around here, maybe hockey's not huge, but it is bigger now in Rapid City. How about the Wild and the Avalanche? They're killing it this year. That is right. That is right. I'm not a hockey expert, but I've been following the Avalanche winning. The Wild, pretty darn good. Should be playoff teams in pretty good shape, right? Okay, Wild, Avalanche. Good to see the Avalanche coming back. The Wild in the mix, no doubt. It's the Avalanche, maybe not quite the days of Joe Sakic, Wah and the boys, but getting back in the mix. Hockey text on the program tonight. Okay, in the Drive at 5, let's get into this. Question of the day, we'll revisit it from a Major League Baseball standpoint. We'll revisit that. And then a listener text from a baseball fan, okay? A baseball fan that says he's got a big problem with this new trend of what managers are doing in baseball games. Does he have a legit complaint? I'll sound off on this new trend in baseball and what I think next.
The Nate Brown Show.
Make your birthday a big splash with a pizza pool party at Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort. Have the slide of your life when you party at Waitiki with gnarly party packages tailor-made for memorable birthdays and events. Enjoy water park admissions, reserved table, pizza and beverage, totally tubular goodie bags, Coco's arcade card, spectator passes, and more. What are you waiting for? Go to WaikikiWaterPark.com today and schedule your Wet n Wild Waitiki party.
Danny Mantle Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at RapidChevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Mantle Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. This is the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Not all trusts fit in a box. We do our best to put a personal touch on each one and really listen to our customers and make sure that we take care of them the very best that we can.
We are going to apply the best of our knowledge and ability and care to really analyze our situation and find all the best solutions that we possibly can.
We customize what we do to what you need. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local.
Hi, this is Jeremy with Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills in 2020. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection to brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
You don't have to be a sports fan to know it's critical to build a strong team around you in business and in life. Strategy takes teamwork, and you need a trusted advisor on your roster. That's why I trust the experts at Cato Thorstensen. From tax, bookkeeping, payroll, QuickBooks to audit, valuation, and more. Trust the experts. Call the Cato Thorstensen team or visit ktllp.com. They're accepting new clients right now. Visit ktllp.com.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hey, Rapid City, it's Doug Gottlieb. Join me weekdays from 1 to 4 right here on 106.7 FM and 11:50 a.m. Fox Sports, Rapid City. And now let's get you back to the Nate Brown Show, Rapid City's sports talk show.
Welcome back in on a Tuesday. How you doing? High energy today? High energy stuff on a Tuesday? No, you're off work, right? You're off work. You're out the door. You're good to go. Drive at 5 on the Nate Brown Show. Brought to you by Summit Automotive Group. Car buying built around you. See Stacy and Matt and their staff. They want you to come back. Bring your friends and family back. Get the best experience in Rapid City when it comes to your next vehicle. SummitAutoGRP.com. SummitAutoGRP.com. Summit Automotive Group. Ryan Spader's on the way. Major League Baseball analyst live from New York on tap. A little bit of Yankees talk, a little bit more. We'll get into a lot with Ryan Spader on the way. Dirk Chatelain, Husker columnist for the Omaha World Herald. What's the big stat with the Huskers today? It jumped out to me. He wrote a piece on it. We'll get to Dirk Chatelain on the way this hour. Omaha World Herald on the way, talking Husker football. Question of the day, you're sounding off on it. Let's see where you're at. Okay, I went through some Major League Baseball teams today in the first hour that have all this talent, right? Or should have more talent than teams, but they're underperforming. Okay, we're a month into the season, a month into the Major League Baseball season. It's not a huge snapshot, but I think it's enough to kind of see where we're at. The Twins are underperforming. They can get back in the race in the AL Central pretty quickly, but they're underperforming right now. I mean, here are teams that are 5 games or more out. 5 games or more out of the first place. The Rockies, the Rangers, the Tigers, and the Twins. The Twins are in company with the Rockies, Tigers, and Rangers. 5 games or more out of first place. The Twins have more talent than the teams in the AL Central. They have more talent than Detroit, yet they're right there in the same category with Detroit. I'll throw out the Yankees in here. A lot of talent underperforming in the AL East. I'll throw out the Mets. They signed some big contracts. Francisco Lindor spending some money. Lindor's hitting 171, and the Mets can't find runs. I mean, they can't find runs. Jacob deGrom pitches, and they can't find runs. So they're underperforming, the Mets. And I might even say the Dodgers right now got off to a hot start. Now they've lost 7 out of their last 9. So I ask, in a Major League Baseball season, question of the day on the Nate Brown Show this Tuesday, How much blame do you put on the manager with a talented team? I think people are all over the map on this. For me, it's the players. It's not the manager. I really have limited capacity to impact my team's performance. And I have even more limited capacity now in today's baseball. I really believe that. My capacity as a Major League Baseball manager is limited. I don't know who to put in the lineup because I'm told the analytics say this. I don't know how long to keep a guy in because the analytics say get him out. I can't sign players because the front office gives me all this quote-unquote talent. Did they sign the right contracts? And then we have all these ballooned contracts, and if the players don't perform, then we fire hitting coaches like Chili Davis today with the New York Mets. I say the players are responsible. What do you say? Listener text coming in. The manager is the one that gets the blame, but I would expect a professional athlete should have the maturity to identify their struggles and commit to correcting them. Well, that's the thing. If you got a $300 million reasons not to commit, you're in pretty good shape. These baseball contracts guaranteed, okay? So some of these guys, when they get off the rails, I'm telling you, some are fine with the big contracts. A lot aren't. There's been some contracts in baseball that just blow your mind. Not just the Joe Mauer situation, right? I mean, we all love Joe, but the money was unreal for the performance. Here's one agreeing with me. The players are to blame for sure. Listener answer, today's baseball manager is a glorified babysitter. Making sure everyone gets along and works as a team. If a player isn't performing, it's up to the player to fix the issue and is to blame. Baseball is an individual sport played as a team. Interesting. 720-1067 on the Barons-Wilson text line. Contribute to the question of the day. How's the poll sitting? If a Major League Baseball team with all this talent is losing, how much blame do you put on the manager? 33% of you say the manager gets the blame. 67% of you say the players get the blame. Speaking of a player that's in a rough spot today, I want to get you this news because this is big as I shift to the NFL. Okay, I want to shift to the NFL. If you're just getting in your car, this is big news. The Denver Broncos offensive tackle Juwan James has ruptured his Achilles, so he is out for the upcoming year. Okay, so follow along with me. If you're not a Broncos insider and you don't know the story, Juwan James signed a $51 million deal in 2019. You know how many games Juwan James has played? 3. Okay? He signed a $51 million deal with the Denver Broncos. Big pickup, right? Big pickup on the offensive line. Got hurt his first year, opted out in the COVID year. Now he's coming back, and he just ruptured his Achilles, and he's out. So Juwan James, $51 million deal for an offensive tackle, Juwan James from the Dolphins, and he's played 3 games. Now, here's the real story that I talked about a couple of weeks ago on this show, and here's a prime example. Remember when I said the Denver Broncos leading the way of not going to the voluntary workouts at the team facility? Remember, they were upset. There's not enough protocols in place. There's not this. There's not that. So the Broncos announced, and then it opened the floodgates of all the other teams saying, yeah, we're not going to come to the voluntary workouts either. Many, many teams now, one after another. But the Broncos led that charge. Okay? Juwan James, offensive tackle for the Broncos, was not working out voluntarily at the team facility, was not doing it, ruptured his Achilles. Guess what? They don't have to pay that contract. They're not on the hook for that money. He had a lot of guaranteed money in that contract as you follow through, okay? You get hurt like this, not at a team facility, you're out. You're out. And people say, man, I feel sorry for the guy. I do, I do. It's a lot of money. It's a big, big money deal. Yet, here's the prime example. You never think this is going to happen. You never think that would. And people are going to say, well, so he worked out on his own or with a personal trainer and he wasn't at the facility, so he loses all this money now. That's the way it is. And so you have these little, big lessons. People always want to say, oh, yeah, we don't want to do the voluntary workouts. There's not enough protocol. There's this and that. And here's one of the worst stories you'll see. This guy had a massive contract. So what are the Broncos going to end up on the hook for? Here's the number being reported by our guy, Benjamin Albright. So if the Broncos release him / cut him, because they can do that now. He got hurt off the facility. Ruptured Achilles for Juwan James. The Broncos will pay Juwan James. It's a pretty healthy number. Get ready. $17 million. They're going to pay him $17 million for the 3 games that he's played since 2019. It's good work if you can get it. It's good work if you can get it. A signing that didn't quite work out. And then here's the bad ending. They're not working out at the team facility. Ruptured Achilles. The Broncos can cut him. Don't have to pay him the rest of the money. Ouch. And now the Broncos have to be thinking, what? Well, Aaron Rodgers is on their mind, but he's going to need an offensive tackle too. You got Garrett Bowles on one side. He's going to need an offensive tackle. Do I dare say Mitchell Schwartz? Do I dare say the Kansas City Chief? He's a free agent, right? Get on the horn. Is it Mitchell Schwartz? It might be. Former Kansas City Chief Andy Reid cut those guys loose. Fisher and Schwartz, right? Those guys he cut loose. I might be making that call to Schwartz. I might be making that call to the veteran. Get him on the offensive line. I'll take him. Tough story with the Broncos. Juwan James. Looks like it's going to be a short career with the Broncos. Coming right back with Ryan Spader, Major League Baseball analyst. Here's the listener text that came in. This baseball fan to this show said, I hate what's happening in baseball. When games turn into blowouts, we have this happening. It's a terrible thing. Does he have a case? That's next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, streaming live at foxsportsrapidcity.com and right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
44.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance for scattered showers tonight, otherwise mainly clear skies. Lows dip down to about 39, westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow, chance for scattered rain showers, highs level off around 57. Chance for isolated rain showers again tomorrow night, lows level off around 35, partly cloudy skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 56.
The Heater Associates at Thrivent are proud to support local youth sports in Rapid City. Matt and Miles Heater at Thrivent are also ready to help individuals, families, and small businesses here in the Black Hills reach their financial goals. Let Matt and Miles Heater be your resource to help you make well-informed decisions for your financial future. Don't put it off any longer. Put a plan in motion with Thrivent and the Heater Associates. Just Google the Heater Associates in Rapid City.
Hi, this is Rihanna Wickett at Elevate Performance. We are ready to launch our summer sports performance camps, and now is the time to register the athlete in your family. If you want your athlete to run faster and jump higher, join us at Elevate this summer to get that edge. Our summer sports performance camps are open to boys and girls grades 6 through 12. Elevate Performance is ready to help our local athletes improve their strength, speed, agility, and more. Register today for the summer sports performance camp. Just visit elevateperformancesd.com.
White or wheat, classic or old-fashioned, with or without sesame seeds.
With so many choices, selecting the right bun for perfectly grilled burgers, hot dogs, and brats can seem overwhelming. Baked right here in the Midwest, the bakers at Village Hearth made your choice easy. As long as you see the familiar Village Hearth logo on the package, you know you're selecting the freshest, most flavorful buns available. Village Hearth Buns, baking our best for you.
Hey, parents and athletes of all ages, there's a game changer in Rapid City. It's Rapid Skills with 2 regulation basketball volleyball courts, 3 batting cages, speed and agility turf, a new boxing training area, and over 30,000 square feet of workout space. Have your child take their game to the next level at Rapid Skills, located by the fairgrounds. For upcoming events and camps, visit rapidskills360.com. Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show, your sports, your show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, live on Fox Sports Rapid City. Great baseball guy I follow on Twitter. You should too. The Ace of Spader, at the Ace of Spader. See how he does that? The Ace of Spader, Major League Baseball analyst, statistician, author. It is Ryan Spader talking Major League Baseball. We're a month into the season. He's here on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Ryan, it's good to get you on. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I really appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate your time. I want to get into some baseball topics. I had a listener text this in, okay? And so I want to know if he has a case or not. Listener text coming into the show said, am I the only one that hates this trend of blowout baseball games and managers putting position players in to pitch? Am I the only one that hates this? That's his question. Does he have a case?
It's certainly a hot take, given how Twitter always seems to blow up. Whenever a position player is pitching, everybody seems to enjoy it. I can understand where, from a manager standpoint, where they're doing this. I can also see where this person's coming from, because it's baseball. We've seen some crazy things happen. I think back to that. I wasn't alive at the time, but the Pirates, when they scored 10 runs in the first inning and ended up losing a game, right, against the Phillies, and their announcer then had to walk home because on the air he said, I would walk home. He did a walk from Philly to Pittsburgh. So I can understand where your listener's coming from, in that, you know, you're never dead in a baseball game. So why use a position player instead of trying to go after something that's, you know, a once-in-a-lifetime type comeback? But I also think I advocated last year during I believe it was a postseason game, actually, for a team to forfeit, which you're actually technically, per the rules of baseball, allowed to do. Let me see if I can actually pull up when it was.
So you think this is this kind of leads into like Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone's talked about, Ryan, hey, we should have a, whatever it is, 10-run rule after so many innings. I mean, he threw that out there, and then everybody threw a wet blanket on it.
Well, so I don't necessarily like that, but I do understand the strategy behind it. So it was on October 14th, 2020, and I said the Braves can technically forfeit this game per Rule 7.03A3 or 7.03B, and per the rules 9.03E2 the comment, the game would end 9-0, and all this statistics and records from the game would be stricken from the record books, which is quite something.
So why do you think people have made this call? Is it the managers? They're trying to save their pitchers. We're out of this game anyway. Is this front office is saying, hey, it's just better to save your pitchers? I mean, who's making the call to put in position players like Rizzo in for the Cubs the other day?
Yeah, I think it's exactly the managers. I think on the whole, it's a smart play because you think tomorrow, what if the next 2 days you need that same pitcher who you would have used in a blowout 2 games in a row, and then he's unavailable on the third day. So, yeah, I think it's a manager's call. Again, I understand where your listener's coming from, but I think it's the right call.
Okay, Ryan Spader on, Major League Baseball analyst here on the Nate Brown Show. Here's this update. The Mets are struggling hitting the ball. Lindor's batting .171, massive contract. So they get rid of Chili Davis and his assistant, the hitting coach, and his assistant. That's always how baseball goes. One shoe drops, and then if that doesn't fix it, another shoe's going to drop. I don't buy into this is a Chili Davis problem. What do you think's going on with the Mets?
Now, I think a lot of times when they fire the hitting coach, it's to appease the fan base more than anything else. I think early on the Mets are just not they're just not jiving. I think when a team struggles through a month, there's anything that can happen over the span of 20, 25 baseball games, and somebody's going to struggle out of the gate and play much differently than you thought they were. Look at the Red Sox on the other side of the coin. You mentioned Lindor, and I've got to be honest. You could have made the argument that Cleveland last year had one of the best guys on the left side of the infield, and I think he's still there, Jose Ramirez. So Lindor signed that massive deal. I really think that is going to open a window to some even larger contracts here in the near future.
Let me ask you about some teams struggling. We hit on the Mets, Ryan. Teams with talent. This is my question of the day. I said, hey, Major League Baseball teams with talent on paper, if they're losing, how much blame do you put on the manager? So I throw in Yankees 14-14. They're turning the corner a little bit. They're 2.5 back. They're fine, but they're 14-14. Early struggles. Twins 5 games out in the AL Central. People say they should win the AL Central. How much blame does the manager get in today's baseball?
So there's a saying that I don't want to say I've come up with it, but I think even my father used to say it to me, and that's that a manager cannot make a team better; he can only make the team worse. So when it comes time to play the blame game, that's where you got to start, I think. And I don't, however, think that you start playing that game around the Twins 27 games into the season. I think you have to look at a larger span of games, closer to the 60 that you played last year. But then again,
we would have been halfway through now, though, right? I mean, we would be halfway through last season, and the Twins are 11-16. That jumps out to me.
Right, it definitely does. But you have to also look at the other side of the coin, where Adrian Martinez and the Nationals were one of the worst teams in baseball through 54 games the year they won the World Series, and then turned it around for the second 2/3 of the season and did something. Guys were calling. I live in D.C. now. Guys were calling for Adrian Martinez's head, and they stuck with their guy, and they turned the team turned around. Again, I don't think a manager can actually make a team all that much better, but he can be good for the clubhouse, good for team unity, and I think that's what you got to look for in a manager. Also, it's nice when they can make the right calls about the bullpen.
Yeah, right. Ryan Spader, that's their biggest job. Ryan Spader, Major League Baseball analyst on tonight. The aceofspader.com. You can find his work there. A couple more, I'll let him run. Astros playing the Yankees. I wasn't quite seeing this. Did we get any reaction early? Supposedly the Yankees fans were just going to boo them out of town. Did we get any reaction out there tonight?
They let Jose Altuve have it, and it was as if it was a packed house. However, I just really can't stand that. I'm so sick of the whole sign-stealing thing because the Astros were scapegoated by Major League Baseball, something Major League Baseball has been doing since go back to the drug trials in the Pittsburgh drug trials in '85. Major League Baseball wanted no responsibility for all the cocaine use. They took no responsibility for the steroid use. Instead, blamed Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, etc. They blamed Rawlings for the juiced baseball, even though they had acquired Rawlings. They always play the blame game. They skirt any responsibility whatsoever. And the fact of the matter is, the Astros, what they tried to do was circumvent a rule that said you cannot steal signs by electronic means, pass them by electronic means, by passing them by old school means, banging on a trash can.
Right. They went that route. I was just wondering how the reaction was with the Astros Yankees. Supposedly it was going to be a little rough. You say Altuve got hit there by the fans. Let me ask you before I let you run, when it comes down to it, Dodgers, hot start. I think they're fine. I have a lunch bet with one of my loyal listeners, just a lunch bet, just a cheeseburger. I said Dodgers win the NL West, end of story. That was a couple of weeks ago. Now they've lost 7 out of their last 9. Just still a too small of a sample size, or what do you think about the Dodgers?
So I think when you can lose 7 out of 9 this early in the season, and you're 1 game back, still 4 games above 500, you're probably a pretty good baseball club. So, yeah, I've got to say the Dodgers are still going to win the West. However, I did pick the Padres as one of my teams in the World Series.
Wow. Padres, so you're a believer. I'm going to still hang with my lunch. I'm going to get that lunch for the Dodgers win the NL West, and I'm still going to get that lunch. Ryan Spader, before I let him run, I'll let you go with this. Can you tell much right now? Like Yankees, in the mix. Can you tell much a month in?
I think there's look at the math. You can tell 16.6 repeating percent of the season, 1/6 the way through, right? So you have to take that for what it is. I think we've seen enough to know that the Red Sox are a lot better than people thought they were. The Royals, same way. The Royals have been an absolute juggernaut this season. And then some other teams, like the Tigers, for example, well, they're just as bad as everybody thought they would be. And then another team in the Orioles, in one of the toughest divisions in baseball, they've got some great young players, and they've played some pretty good ball. They're just 1 game below 500. So don't count out the O's.
Wow. I will say it's been an interesting season. Right now, there's 4 teams that are 5 games or more out of first place. Just 4 teams. You go through previous years, there were a lot more than that. So maybe a little more parity. It seems, across the board. Ryan Spader, give him a follow, good baseball follow, at the Ace of Spader. Find him on Twitter there, Major League Baseball analyst. Ryan, enjoy the night. Thanks for the time.
I really appreciate it. Have a great night.
Appreciate it. Ryan Spader on the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City. He's good. I like him, Major League Baseball analyst, the Ace of Spader on Twitter. Ryan Spader on Fox Sports Rapid City. So there's more parity. That's a baseball fact of the day. As of today, 4 teams are 5 games or more out of first place. Last year at this time, I say last year, not the 60-game season. Go to 2019. There were 10 teams 5 games or more out of first place. 2018, there were 11 teams. 2017, 11 teams. So what that tells me, the gap was huge. There were a lot of bad teams in Major League Baseball the last 3 years. Now, at least a month in, there's 4 teams that are 5 games or more out of first place. So the races are tighter. Who are those 4 teams? Unfortunately, the Minnesota Twins are in that mix. 5 games out of the AL Central. Twins, Rockies, Tigers, Rangers. Twins got to get out of that company. They're better than that. They are better than that. A quick time out of the Nate Brown Show. We come back with another stat of the day. I've got this on the Husker football side. So Nebraska football just had their spring game, okay? Then there was the draft here. Who went in the draft from Nebraska? We have an interesting one. A South Dakota kid did, right? A South Dakota kid goes to the Huskers, gets drafted. So there's a good story, but there's also this story. Nebraska joins 2 other schools when it comes to the NFL draft over the last 5 years, this isn't a good story. Dirk Chatlin, the Omaha World Herald Husker columnist, next.
This is the Nate Brown.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop. Over-the-top service and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
We have all learned lately that our homes are our sanctuaries. And at Renewal by Andersen, many people invest in our windows to keep out the bitter cold. But they're often thrilled when it's blazing hot outside, and their Renewal by Andersen windows are keeping their homes so cool, with much lower utility bills. Renewal by Andersen windows make life at home so much more comfortable, whether it's 10 degrees below zero or 100. We can't control outside, but we sure can inside. Invest in your home now with Renewal by Andersen. You'll be glad you did.
Visit blackhillsenergy.com/811. If you're looking to tackle any do-it-yourself projects around the house this weekend, remember to call 811 before doing any digging. Black Hills Energy reminds you that no matter how big or small, every digging project warrants a call to 811. It's free, it's safe, and it's the law. Visit blackhillsenergy.com/811 to learn more.
Hey, it's Nate Brown for the Man Salon. Guys, we're all working hard. Some of us are stressed. We all need a little relaxation. That's where you go to the Man Salon. Get the full treatment. Great haircut, shampoo, head, shoulder massage, hot towel in your own station. There's no place like it in Rapid City. And their stylists are wearing masks. So if you want to relax, get a great experience, you want the Man Salon on West Main or at Rushmore Crossing. Book your next appointment online at themansalon.net.
Customer service and knowledge. You expect it, and we provide it. As a general insurance agency, Fisher Rounds & Associates has aligned itself with the nation's strongest carrier networks, giving you the highest quality coverage at the best possible price. When it comes to claims or other issues, we handle everything so you don't have to. That's what we mean when we say we're at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, proudly serving South Dakota with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Rapid City, Sioux Falls, and Watertown.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Remember to catch me weekday mornings from 7 until 10 a.m. right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, back to Rapid City's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
You know what I always loved about Huey Lewis and the News? They were always heavy on the saxophone. Heavy on the saxophone. I saw Huey Lewis and the News here in Rapid City, when was that? Just a few years ago now, right? This COVID year's got me all messed up, but just a few years ago, right in Rapid City. Solid stuff, and always makes an appearance at least once a week here on the Nate Brown Show. Fox Sports Rapid City, your sports, your show. Thanks for being a part of South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. Live weekdays 4 to 6. Remember, if you can't catch all of this show all the time, check the podcast. We had John Clayton on, first hour NFL Insider, the professor, the original NFL Insider. John Clayton joined us. Rapid City Central wrestling update with head coach Lance Pearson. That's been a big story lately, and we talked to Lance Pearson in the first hour. Check the podcast if you missed it. The Nate Brown Show, the podcast available where you get your podcasts. Here's Dirk Chatlin. We haven't had him on before. I read a lot of his work. Omaha World Herald, all right? Omaha World Herald. They do a great job covering the Huskers. He's got a new piece on the Huskers and the NFL draft. It's out there. Find him on Twitter at Dirk Chatlin. That's easy, at Dirk Chatlin, and he joins us here on the Nate Brown Show. Dirk, thanks for coming on. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well.
Good, man. I appreciate your work. You cover the Huskers well, and I thought this piece you wrote lately was interesting. It just hit it there on the Omaha World Herald, talking about the NFL draft. And this isn't a secret, Dirk, that people say, well, the Huskers have to have more players drafted. They have to have more players drafted. Here's the stat that got my attention from your piece. we see players drafted. Farniak got drafted. He's a South Dakota kid, so we're rooting for him from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So he goes, but the number you point out, the Huskers haven't had a player in the first 4 rounds in 5 years. In 5 years. That blew me away. What was your take as you dug into this?
Well, Nebraska kind of has 2 slumps that are going on at the same time. One is just the total number of draft picks, which has been down the last 5 years. They've only had 6 in 5 years. But I think just as importantly is they're not getting anybody at the top. They're not getting anybody at the top half of the draft. So they haven't had a guy last 5 years in the top 4 rounds. Only 2 other Power 5 schools can say that. Georgia Tech and Arizona, which are not exactly, football powerhouses right now. And to me, it just illustrates, Nebraska's 2 problems that are happening at the same time. One, they're having a hard time building depth. And 2, they're just not getting the game breakers or the difference makers. And you could say those 2 are related, and I would agree with that. But, Scott Frost has got his work cut out, not only as a player development machine, I guess, to sort of generate what Nebraska used to be in terms of, taking a kid who's 18 years old and turning him into an NFL player by the age of 22, but he also has a challenge in terms of recruiting, and that's, often where you get your guys at the top of the draft. You're getting your 4-star, 5-star type guys who are saying no to some other top 25 schools. So, there's a lot of different ways over the years to illustrate Nebraska's problems, and we've done that, in many ways. But every once in a while, you stumble on one that just kind of your eyebrows jump. And this statistic, I thought, said a lot about some of Nebraska's problems over the last 5 years. Yeah,
because you point out it's not just like top 10 picks, right, or first round pick. It's like second, third, fourth round picks. Do you think it matters to kids when they're going to Nebraska? Okay, here's a new facility going to be built. We need facilities. We need tradition. We need great fan support. We need hype. Okay, but here's what they also need. They want to see how do I get to the NFL? And when that doesn't happen, how much does that factor in on the recruiting trail?
Oh, I think it's huge. And I also think it's, kids obviously have very short memories. They don't remember when Nebraska was a great program. Many guys our age, barely remember when Nebraska was a great program. So it's almost like the longer you go between those breakout seasons, the harder it gets. I mean, Nebraska really could have used just a mini breakthrough in the last 5 or 10 years, just to sort of point kids to the school and say, see, here's a sign of progress. I mean, if they win one Big Ten championship somewhere, if they have one top 10 season somewhere, I think it would have done a lot for momentum around the program. They're investing in football. They've always done that. They're doing it still. They're going to build a big facility here that's going to be finished in a couple of years, and I'm sure that will help. But kids really want to see, like you just said, can you win, and can you put me in the NFL? And that's not even necessarily the order that I think they look at. A lot of these guys are thinking professional career first. So the NFL draft stuff really matters. It's kind of why the rich get richer. You look at Alabama, Ohio State, the schools that are doing it every year, and they're separating from the pack. And I think, one reason they're separating from the pack, obviously they have great player development machines, but on top of that, they're just like a magnet for top recruits because of their success. Their NFL success breeds more NFL success.
Yeah, I really believe it matters. Great piece on Omaha.com. Omaha World Herald Husker columnist Dirk Chatlin here on the Nate Brown Show. I'll ask you about Farniak, Sioux Falls, South Dakota kid, great player. He was a leader for the Huskers. Goes 7th round to the Cowboys. Can he be an NFL offensive lineman?
I think so. Yeah, I mean those linemen, a lot of times, I realize, in my opinion, they surprise you more often than some of the other positions, because I think a lot of times it's about scheme, it's about coaching, and I'm not saying Nebraska was deficient in those ways, but I think sometimes it's about finding the right fit. I mean, Farniak, if you followed his high school career. I mean, he was clearly a top level guy who I think, I don't know if he underperformed at Nebraska, but I think he probably had a little bit bigger visions at Nebraska. And I think, you give a guy like that a new start in professional football in a new scheme with a new coaching staff. I think he can have a nice career. And we've seen that several times with Nebraska guys. Jeremiah Searles is an example of a guy who not a lot of people, saw doing big things in the NFL, and he had a really nice pro career. Nebraska's had pretty good luck with having some linemen who kind of caught on. Leiden Murtha is another guy. So, not necessarily all pro NFL starter type guys, but people who have a nice 5 or 10 year career, and I think Farniok can do that. I mean, the Dallas has had a really nice run scheme over the last 5 years, and I'm sure he'll fit in pretty well there.
Dirk Chatelain, Omaha.com. The Huskers just can't quite get those high NFL draft picks and join the company of Arizona and Georgia Tech. No first 4-round draft picks in the last 5 years. Dirk, last one. Adrian Martinez, I just saw this. He's graduating. 3.5 years. Man, 3.5 years he got to work. Martinez leading the Huskers. Is he the guy, end of story, as we get ready for this year?
Well, it's certainly his job. I think the question is, can he sort of shake some of the demons from the past couple of years? Because he's really endured a lot of disappointment. Lost his job last year before he got it back. Has really been plagued by turnovers. Even in that Rutgers game in the season finale, he had 4 turnovers. He's got a lot of talent, but it's like he's just kind of sort of prone to mistakes. And if he can shake the mistakes, I think he can be one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the Big Ten. He certainly has the talent to do that. And I think a big part of it is just that he hasn't had a very good supporting cast at the skill positions, especially the last couple of years. There's reason to believe that Nebraska's receiving core is going to be better. Running backs are still a pretty big question mark, but if you can put some guys around Martinez who can go up and get a 50-50 ball, for example, suddenly he doesn't stand back there feeling like he has to make every big play. And I think, the more pressure you can take off of him, the better. He's got a lot of natural talent, but again, he's just got to eliminate mistakes.
Dirk Chatelain, find his work, Omaha.com. Hope to get him on again. Covers the Huskers, does a nice job. Omaha World Herald on Twitter at Dirk Chatelain. Have a good night, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Dirk Chatelain on the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City, Omaha.com. Husker columnist, Omaha World Herald. That stat about the Huskers really matters. That's a big stat. Did you hear that stat? No NFL draft picks in the first 4 rounds since 2016. Okay? They've had no first 4. Okay? First 4 rounds. The only other Power 5 programs, Arizona and Georgia Tech, that match that. I mean, that's an alarming stat. And people say, oh, it's just this, it's that. You need a team. You need a team. You need really good players. Just a few can make a difference in position groups. You need better players. I don't think they're getting, well, it shows you that. They're not getting the elite players. I mean, you just point out people that give me a bad time, right? I'm a Wyoming Cowboys fan, okay? The Pokes. The Pokes have had a lot of NFL draft picks over the last 7 years. I mean, a pretty high number. There's quite a few Pokes playing in the league. And so when you put Nebraska in a category that's below Wyoming when it comes to NFL draft picks, that's not a good place to be when you're trying to compete in the Big Ten, not the Mountain West. Trying to compete in the Big Ten. It's a big number. Dirk wrote that piece. And when it comes to getting first round, too, I mean, the Huskers just haven't been able to get that done either. When it comes to first round picks, I mean, that's been a dry spell as well. Omaha.com for the Dirk Chatelain piece. The Huskers, they got to start building. They've got to start building because I've went to some of these facilities now. I'm walking in some of these facilities. Okay, the one I was just at, Arizona State. Okay, it's not a powerhouse program or anything like this. The number one thing when you walk in, all of the Arizona State players that have went to the NFL. I mean, it's just boom, 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 boom. Okay, it's not like Alabama's list, okay, or Ohio State's, Clemson's list, but that's just Arizona State. That's just a normal Power 5 kind of program that's trying to win some games, they lose some games. Arizona State, that's the first thing. You walked in their facility. I was at Arizona State, when was that, 4 years ago? Walked in there, first thing they had, here's all the NFL players. Boom, boom, where they went, boom, boom, boom. And that's the big thing. That's a huge thing. Kids are looking at, yeah, I want a good place. I want good facilities. Everybody's got good facilities now. Everybody's on TV now. I mean, the world's changed. Are you getting to the NFL now? Going here? And right now, people aren't at Nebraska as a higher rate as other schools. Coming back with who's hot and who's not on the Nate Brown Show this Tuesday, I got to get into, in my who's not category, Jawan James, the offensive tackle for the Denver Broncos, is now out for the rest of the year. He opted out last year in the COVID year. He's out now with a ruptured Achilles. He only played 3 games in 2019, the year he was signed. How much money will Jawan James lose in this massive contract, potentially by opting out last year and by getting hurt off of the team facility, working out off of the facility this year? How much money? Who's not category is rich. Next.
Your sports, your show. This is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Today on Hey Culligan, softer equals better. Here's a tweet from Ed Itchy in Idaho. Hey Culligan, my laundry is so scratchy I just cut myself on a cable knit sweater. Any suggestions? # send help. Hey Ed Itchy in Idaho. Yes, the Culligan high efficiency water softener will make that thing so soft it'll go from cable knit to cable knot. Itchy. # soft laundry. # already on the way. Have your softener inspected for peak performance for $39.
Go to blackhillsculligan.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance for scattered showers tonight, otherwise mainly clear skies. Lows dip down to about 39, westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow, chance for scattered rain showers, highs level off around 57. Chance for isolated rain showers again tomorrow night, lows level off around 35, partly cloudy skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 55.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we believe in happy accidents, like in 1964, when a Buffalo, New York restaurant owner accidentally bought chicken wings instead of chicken necks. The 60s were a crazy time. Well, decades later, and the mistake-turned masterpiece is now at Pizza Ranch. Introducing our new traditional and boneless chicken wings, tossed in our signature sauces. 2 more ways to get the country's best chicken available for carryout and delivery. Maybe it wasn't an accident after all, just delicious fate. Pizza Ranch.
For nearly 100 years, Connex has been providing the know-how and materials to help their neighbors grow. Through partnerships with builders, homeowners, and contractors, Connect Home Centers have impacted our communities, making them stronger and safer through support of local organizations and neighborhood beautification projects. Improving the quality of life for others is important to us. We are Connect Home Center, your hometown lumberyard lending a helping hand in building our communities since 1928.
We all like to save money, and State Farm can help with discounts. I'm State Farm agent Scott Carlson. When you combine your car insurance with your State Farm homeowners insurance, you get big savings. Visit with me on how you can experience the good neighbor service that has made us America's #1 insurance company. Together, we can help make sure that you get the discounts you deserve with the coverage you need. No policy with State Farm? No problem. Call me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, at 342-0188 and find out how much a multi-line discount can save you.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying your first home or maybe upgrading to a home that you will really love? Real estate is an important investment that you want to get right. I have been in the business of finding the right home for 15 years. To get started, contact me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044. Let's open the door to your new home and say hello to a goodbye with me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right, let's wrap it up on a Tuesday. We're live weekdays 4 to 6. The Nate Brown Show. Matt Kearney, the YouTube producer. I'll tell you, the producer of the Nate Brown Show. You can find us on YouTube, the show, the archives. Subscribe to the Nate Brown Show. You can watch the show, saying hi to everybody on YouTube. Thanks for checking in. Also on Twitter, at Nate Brown Show. Find us there, and the podcast will be up tonight. Every show, every guest, all the archives there. FoxSportsRapidCity.com. You can find the Nate Brown Show archives and wherever you get your podcasts. Who's Hot and Who's Not tonight, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Every night, the Pizza Ranch brings you dinner, the best buffet in Rapid City. It's open daily 11 to 8, and tomorrow is Kids Night. The Pizza Ranch Buffet, one child 12 and under eats free for every regular priced adult. The Pizza Ranch Buffet tomorrow night. That's Wednesday night. Kids Night. Make it happen. Who's hot and who's not? Let's roll with this. I got to give my team some credit. I mean, this is going to be one of those years, a little up and down. I don't think we're going to compete that heavy in the NL Central. So when we do something today, you got to hear it on the Nate Brown Show. I'm a Chicago Cubs guy. We might not be in the mix. We'll be competitive, but we caused a little problem today. The Chicago Cubs, in my Who's Hot category, they beat up Clayton Kershaw so badly. It's Clayton Kershaw's shortest outing of his illustrious career. L.A. Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw pitches 1 inning, 39 pitches, 1 inning, and Dave Roberts pulled him. The Cubbies scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first, and Clayton Kershaw gets pulled due to the Chicago Cubs outburst. Shortest start of Clayton Kershaw's career. That's been a good career, but thanks to my Cubs, he was out the door early after 1 inning today. Interesting that they did pull him after 1 inning. He gave up 4 runs, but you pulled Kershaw after one? After one? You got a doubleheader. They're playing tonight. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, it's got to be Juwan James and his situation with the Broncos. The Broncos offensive tackle signed a big contract in 2019. He got hurt after 3 games. Then he opted out of the COVID year last year. Now he ruptured his Achilles by working out off the team facilities. And how much could this cost him? Juwan James, the offensive tackle, if he gets cut, released by the Broncos, here's the number. It was calculated. He gave up right around $10 million last year. That would have been good in the COVID year. Okay? So he took that year off, COVID year. That was $10 million. Not in his pocket. Now this year, if the Broncos go after some of the signing bonus, it's within the contract. You get hurt off the team facility, it could be another almost $13 million. From COVID year, I'm out, to I get hurt now off the team facility. If the Broncos go after some of the signing bonus, it could be about $23 million down the drain for Juwan James. On that note, that is a who's not of all who's nots. $23 million out. We're back tomorrow on a Wednesday, 4 o'clock. I'll see you then. The Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We'll send you the